Alright, I'll say 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so we'll be starting off in Cap Kingdom. Dansta is known for Cap Kingdom since he's a world record holder in this kingdom right now. The kingdom is pretty self-explanatory. You'll just follow your way and then beat a little boss at the end. And yeah, it begins with this little cutscene right here. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, Dansta is currently holding the world record in this kingdom. Dansta's PP right now is a 101.20, so let's hope he gets somewhere close to the time. And yeah, we can see him going very quickly right now through the Cap Kingdom. There's actually a little trick right here where you can see him going into first person right after he flips the lever. That will make a short cutscene disappear that happens when the bridge comes up. And yeah, we'll go on to Frog Room right now. Yeah, he's trying to roll onto the water perfectly so he can get the most speed out of it. And he's doing frog vectors right now, which is he's moving the frog to the opposite direction during the jump, so he can get a lot more distance on it. And right now we're going on to left side, so Cap is pretty packed full of stuff, and left side is what you just saw there. It's a very precise trick, but it only saves around like 2 seconds or something. So, but most of the top runners go for it. And yeah, we're already done with Cap Kingdom, and we're moving on to Cascade Kingdom right now. So in Cascade Kingdom, there are 2 major tricks that we'll watch out for. The first one is a version exclusive trick to 1.0, which most of the top runners, if not all of them, use version 1.0. It's exclusive to that version, and you're basically skipping the first moon in the game, which saves around 30 seconds in this category. Yeah, it's right at the beginning of the kingdom, so we will see it right now. This is actually a new version. We used to go for the one on the rock over there. And yeah, Dansta does it pretty perfectly, no errors. And he'll be going on to the second trick I mentioned, which will be the T-Rex jump. So he'll be trying to get the foot of the T-Rex on the trampoline to skip a whole lot of Cascade Kingdom. And we're already at Madame Brew. Madame Brew is the boss of this kingdom. Yeah, this is one of the few bosses we see in this game actually, because we'll be skipping most of them since we only need to collect as much moons as the game wants us to. And that means we can skip a lot of bosses in this game, which makes this run a whole lot easier. And yeah, Dansta just finished up Madame Brutal, and he'll be collecting the triple moon from her pretty soon. So about to come up is something called a moon clip, where he'll be timing his back flip as good as possible to clip through a surface. He'll be going for chest moon clip, which was found with the version exclusive trick. Yeah. So yeah, as said, there are a lot of version differences. That's why most of the runners actually use 1.0, because it saves a lot of time to 1.2. Here we see the moon clip, and he gets it. It looks like. And yeah, we're finishing off Cascade Kingdom. So the next kingdom will be Sand Kingdom. In Sand Kingdom, there will be something coming up that I will talk about when we get there, called Ram Strat. It's a pretty hard strat for beginners, but if you're more advanced, you'll get used to it and, of course, can execute it better. There are a lot of different ways to set it up, but yeah. Right now he's trying to get fast action guide skip. Cappy is trying to get you to look at this action guide, and he gets fast action guide skip. It saves around 2 seconds or 1 second if you do it perfectly. And he was able to do it pretty good. So he saved a few seconds off of that. It's a little improvement that runners do in the game. So yeah. Alright, so he's now gonna collect. Watch out for the bird, by the way, that you saw on the left right there, because that's gonna come important later in Sand Kingdom. Right now he's trying to get the sub-area moon. There's ground punning. So yeah, that bird, you can see shadow there. It's gonna be very important later in the run. Oh, by the way, right here you saw him doing a spin pound. The spin pound is something we do in the Super Mario Odyssey community that saves a lot of time over normal ground pounds, because so there's a lot of stuff that can happen with normal ground pounds. Like if you follow up too quickly, you will throw your cap down, or it just is slower, and spin pounds save a lot of time over that. Right here we see him going for Ram Strat, and let's hope he gets it. Yes, he does. Really nice there from Dansta. It's easy to mess that up, even for advanced runners. And yeah. We'll be coming up at Sphinx Tip right now. First we're gonna get this moon next to the trash. And then he'll be going for Sphinx Lip. He's going for... let's see what he goes for too. So right here he's trying to get a roll cancel clip into a room behind the Sphinx, which it does get. Normally you have to talk to the Sphinx, which this clip saves a lot of seconds over. And now he's trying to do it again, but angle himself a little bit to the left so he can get another moon, and he does it first try, which is pretty cool. I think he clipped in bounds. Yeah, he's gonna go. Good backup, going for the pipe there. Yeah. Now we're coming up at another trick called Jaxi Skip, where if you can see it, you can't see it right now, but right now you can see a little pillar there in the goo, in the purple goo, which he'll be flying over to and trying to escape the bullet bill right as he hits it, so he can jump onto it, and he does it pretty good there. It's also pretty easy to mess it up if you don't pay enough attention, but yeah. Now he gets the cactus moon, and then we're actually almost done with sand, just a few more moons to go. In this oasis right here, there are a few more moons that we collect. They're the bird we talked about earlier. It comes back here now, and we get the moon from it right now instead of earlier. It saves a lot of time. Well, not a lot of time, but it saves a good amount of time, so we do it. And yeah, we now get the notes on this tree, on this palm tree right here. And oh, he got it with one spin throw, which is actually also pretty hard. So there are a lot of stuff that is pretty hard in this game, but at least pretty hard to do right. It's not easy really to mess it up, but it's hard to execute it really good. So, and Dansta got it pretty good here. It was actually a pretty good sand from Dansta here, no major mistakes. Yeah. We'll be leaving Sand Kingdom right now to go to Lake Kingdom. This game has a lot of kingdoms we'll be going through. Here we go. Here we get the choice of going to Wooded or to Lake Kingdom. It was discussed that maybe going to Wooded could be a little bit faster since a little text box doesn't come up, but it's such a little time save that most of the runners don't actually do it. Alright. So right now we are in Lake Kingdom, and there's actually a pretty cool skip coming up. We'll be clipping into a wall of Lake Kingdom and getting a lot of moves that wouldn't be accessible if we went for it normally. This route is pretty new, not that new. It's been discovered pretty long time ago, a few months back, but yeah, now, oh, it seems that he's getting it first try. Nice, he got it first try, not bad by Dansta there. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. It's called Lake Clip. Now he got a checkpoint right there with the up throw, and he'll be teleporting to it, as we can see right here. And now the route is the same as it was before Lake Clip was found. He's just gonna get the one moon in the chest right here, and now he'll be going down to the cheap cheap. So what's fun about this is that doing it down from here to get the cheap is actually a little bit faster, so a lot of the top runners who play with Pro Controller, where a down throw isn't possible, actually just get Joy-Cons so they can get the down throw right here, which is very funny, man, in my opinion. Just a little thing that saves a bit of time. Yeah. You can see Dansta just going through the stage really quick right here. We'll be coming up at this room right here where he talks to a lady, and then we'll be going out of Lake Kingdom already. It's a very quick kingdom, not the quickest, but a very quick kingdom. So yeah, we used to do Rango. It's a brutal. Brutal are the main enemies in this game. We'll see a bit of them later in the run. And yeah, through Lake Skip, the brutal got skipped. Rango got skipped, and yeah, we'll now move on to Wooded Kingdom. Wooded Kingdom is pretty hard, not only for beginners but also for advanced runners, because there are a lot of time saves in Wooded that are pretty easy to mess up. For example, which is the most notable one, is called Nut Clip. It's pretty early. It's like in the middle of Wooded Kingdom, and yeah, it's pretty easy to mess up. There is another route that Dansta won't be going for. It's just one moon gets exchanged with another one. It's called Tree Route. It doesn't save that much time. Like, it's easy to do the route, but it's hard to save time with. And yeah, and he won't be going for it. So yeah. We'll now get this shop moon. I haven't mentioned that he had to get a certain amount of points so he can be able to purchase this moon right here, which costs 100 coins. And obviously he got that amount of points during the run. It's pretty easy to get. And right now we'll be coming up at the nut clip I talked about. He's gonna time his jumps perfectly to moon clip into the wall, which it looks like he got. Yeah, he did. Now he'll just try to get this moon. It's actually possible to get stuck in this cage right here if you don't pay enough attention, but of course Dansta gets it perfectly. Oh, he messed up the ramp here. Perfect. Go for it again, and yeah, this looks good. Alright. And now we're gonna continue with it the way we used to do it. Oh, that was a little mishap there. Yeah. Now he'll move on to the maze, where he captures this. I actually forgot what they call. Let's just call them onions because they look like some
uproots.
Uproots, right? Sorry, that's what I forgot. I totally forgot that. Yeah. So yeah, Dansta will be going on there. He will cheat. Not actually, but a lot of people think that the runners are cheating by buffering a jump while jumping into the toxic poison stuff right there. It's actually possible to not get hit when you're buffering a jump, and yeah, that's exactly what he did. All right, another pretty hard trick coming up for beginners. Advanced runners don't have as much problems with it. It's called flower road skip, and he's executing it perfectly right here. He's just skipping a little flower road, that's what's called flower road skip, that will come out if you press the P switch right there. And now, due to the nut clip route that was found actually a long time ago, we skipped this boss right here. There's a boss coming up right now that we used to do, but we don't do anymore because of the nut tip route. We actually instead jump down from this tower and get a few moons that are, well, easier to get, and tends to have a little bit of problems. And buffering a jump so he doesn't get the falling animation you would get with jumping down there. And yeah, he has to break this nut, and then he has to go into the sewers, which has a cycle, so he has to time everything he does in there pretty perfectly to still make it through the sewers as fast as possible. Yeah, as we can see here, he's getting the hidden in there. And after we're done with that, we're done with Bullet. He's getting the last one here. And now he's teleporting back to the Odyssey. Alright, so the next kingdom we're going to, the game will let us think we're going to New Donk City, when in actuality Bowser will attack us and we're gonna have to fight him. So the next kingdom is gonna be Cloud Kingdom, where we're gonna have a pretty big fight with Bowser. Yeah, as we can see here, the game thinks, yeah, you're going to Metro, when in actuality Bowser kicks us out of the sky onto a cloud where we have to fight him. So you can see here, we're on the cloud in the sky. So yeah, the Bowser fight actually has a few tricks that runners do. Like you can see him here, just rolling into the head and throwing his head perfectly so he can get Bowser's head onto his head. A lot of heads in this fight. And here we see Dansta again lining him up perfectly with Bowser's head at the right time. And he'll be doing it again, intentionally taking damage right here. So so he can stay right there and doesn't get hit. It's a little bit faster back there. And yeah, that was the fight with Bowser. Pretty fast fight. Alright. Now we'll be moving on to Lost Kingdom. Lost Kingdom also has a few tricks that save a bit of time, which are pretty hard. The first one coming up is actually not only to save time, but to also escape Klepto. Klepto is a bird that will steal your cap if you don't watch out. And we'll use this tree here to avoid the areas where Klepto normally takes your head. And yeah, Dansta does it perfectly there. Not triggering Klepto. But in Lost Kingdom we'll actually trigger Klepto on purpose, while not drawing his attention too much by going up the stairs where he sits on, so we can actually jump down again and get a few other moons. As you can see, Klepto is on the right there, standing on his tree stump. Yeah, we can see Dansta here, triggering Klepto on purpose, so we can go down to this section where you can get a few more moves. This moon actually we used to get by letting us get hit by the torpedo, but it's been found out. This is all a long time ago. I'm still a noob at this game, so I use distract. And here he goes for cage triple, which is pretty hard to do and only saves like a second of time, but he'll be executing it perfectly. Thanks to actually having a really good run right here, making it out of Lost Kingdom. And now we'll finally be able to go on to Metro Kingdom. So yeah, Dansta here finishing up Lost. He had a pretty good Lost right here. Not making too much errors. And yeah, we'll be moving on to Metro Kingdom right now, which is under attack by Bowser. Bowser actually put one of his bosses on the tower, and we have to go beat it, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, as we can see right here, Cappy is freaking out about the weird worm that's on here called Mecha Wiggler, and we're trying to navigate around, actually getting a few moons while we're in Night Metro, so we don't have to get them later when we actually beat the boss. And yeah. Going for precise triple jump, up it onto the building and down into the sandwich moon. You only get then back up the building. Now we'll jump on the Goomba and go to Inner City Hall. Inner City Hall is pretty hard for beginners, I'd say, because there's a lot of precise jumps and a lot of easy ways to fall down all the way to the bottom again. But Dansta being only misses the cycle for the elevator actually, but managing his way back up. Yeah, we can see him already there. So there's a jump coming up in this Inner City Hall, which is pretty hard because the camera changes in a way which messes with your inputs, as you can see right here. And it's actually pretty hard to pull this off, especially if you are a beginner. And we'll be going on to the Mecha Wiggler fight right now. So this Mecha Wiggler fight, you can do it in only 2 phases, which is hopefully what Dansta will get right here. But it can also happen that you miss a few shots and then go into 3 phases, which would be very unfortunate, but I believe in this. I think we can do this in 3 cycles. Yeah, getting the first cycle, then the bigger tries to run into you. And then the third cycle. And then the second cycle will happen. Here he tries to shoot 3 fireballs out from the sky so that he doesn't have to hit them later. And hopefully he will get 2 cycles. I think so. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's pretty easy for advanced runners. But for beginners it's pretty hard. Pretty easy to mess it up actually. And yeah, that's it with Night Metro. After this fight, we'll be moving on to Day Metro. Day Metro is a pretty straightforward kingdom. A lot of few little tricks here and there, and actually the tricks are pretty hard, pretty easy to mess up. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, there are no real bosses in Day Metro, so you just have to collect all of the moons he still has to get. And yeah. Right now, I've already said this before. In Sand, there was something called a dram. Dram is basically when you leave your cap somewhere to get something else, most likely a moon, to then only capture the thing where your cap was before. Now he's trying to get Scoot Clip, which he does perfectly right here to get this moon. Normally you have to capture the guy and then roll a RV car into that little cage where the moon was in. Here he goes for another dram. And now he'll be making friends with the guy. Mario is just talking to this guy and helping him with his life, probably. We're getting a move from that. So, yeah, now he'll be getting this moon inside the girdle right here. And then he'll be going over to Pauline actually. And Pauline wants us to get a few band members to join her festival band. And we can see the drummer right there. He's talking to him and getting him onto the band and getting a moon from that. So yeah, normally if you play the game casually, you will see you will normally attend the festival that Pauline puts up with all of these band members. But in any percent, we aren't going to the festival sadly. It's a pretty cool festival. And this is the last member coming up, OTAP we call him. Yeah, this is the last member we'll get. Normally you have to get 4 casually, but in speedrun we only get 2 of them. Alright, now we'll see him teleporting on top of that tower. He got that checkpoint earlier. And he'll be getting the moon in the garbage right here. In the trash can. And making a leap of faith down there to get this moon, which we skipped in Night Metro, you might have seen it. And it's gonna go all the way on top of this tower to get another moon. Unfortunately, wrong right there from him. Yeah. This climb is actually also pretty easy to mess up for new players, because it's not really precise, but it's just hard to get it right. And hopefully he gets bullseye right here. Nice, he got easy bullseye. Now we're actually finishing up Metro Kingdom. Pretty solid from Dancer here. With this last 2 moons in this people room, and then we'll already be teleporting out of Metro Kingdom. As said, a pretty straightforward kingdom. It's just collect moons with a lot of tricks in between. And yeah. Alright. So the next kingdom is gonna be Snow Kingdom. We were pretty lucky to go to Snow Kingdom first because it can happen that you don't, because in Snow Kingdom you have to buy a moon again, and that's 100 coins, and it sometimes could happen that you don't have enough coins to buy the moon in Snow Kingdom, so you have to go to Seaside first, but Dansta will be able to go to Snow Kingdom first. Alright. So we'll be landing on Snow Kingdom, but most of Snow Kingdom is actually gonna happen underground. We will get a few moons on the surface, but then we're gonna jump through a deep hole and live among little fluffy snow people. Here we'll get the one moon that we'll get on the surface by talking to Captain Toad right here in the wall. And now a set dancer will be going through the hole right here. So later in Snow Kingdom there's something coming up called Snow Dam. It's a jump, not a dam actually. We just call it Snow Dam. And the jump is really precise, so it takes a lot of effort to get it, and it's pretty hard to get it. But even for advanced runners, it's pretty hard to get the jump right sometimes. So yeah, let's hope he doesn't fail trying to do it. Now that I've said it, it's probably gonna happen. Here you can see a well-timed triple jump to get onto that staircase to get this moon a little bit faster. And now he's gonna... Ooh, actually pretty good spiny case. It's almost better to leave one spiny on the stairs so you can hit him off. It's a little bit faster than just blowing them all off. And yeah, we'll be going into 2 sub-rooms. Normally in casual runs you have to go through 4. But we'll only be going through 2 sub-rooms and getting the moon from those 2. The second one is this icy cavern right here, where we gotta capture 4 of these Goombas. We get a moon behind this wall right here. And there he actually intentionally bonks on the wall to get the moon a little bit lower to the ground so you can start rolling faster. And this jump right here is also pretty precise, but nothing too hard for Dansta. Alright, we're done with the 2 sub-areas now. Now we gotta collect 1 moon in the shop, and then he'll be going for Snowdram. Snowdram, as said, pretty precise. Let's hope he doesn't mess it up. I believe in Dansta, I don't think he'll mess it up. Yeah. Less RNG in chat. Just trying to set it up with first person mode right here. Looking good so far. And gets it first try. Nice. So I just gotta go back to the Odyssey and capture the globe. Pretty solid Snow Kingdom there for Dansta. And now we move on to Seaside Kingdom. Seaside in casual runs is or in World Peace actually, another category in this game, is actually a pretty long kingdom because of the boss there. But in any percent we can skip the boss in Seaside to allow us to get a little less time. Alright, Seaside is this beautiful kingdom with a lot of water. So that means you'll have to capture Cheeps. Dansta flying through the stage. Get this first moon right here. Going into a sub room to get the second moon, which is hidden under the ground right here. And now he's going into a room, I guess, where you normally have to take a Gushin there. Gushin are little squid type thingies. Actually, having a bit of trouble here. Gushin are little squid type thingies that you can capture, which let you travel a little bit faster across water. But the one time we actually need a Gushin in this run has been skipped thanks to this discovery right here, which is gonna happen, called Rocket Flower Refresh, where we can refresh this rocket flower by ground pounding and spinning during at the same time. Actually going for 2-frame here, which is a pretty precise trick. Not getting it quite, and actually having to capture the Gushin was a pretty close attempt though. 2-frame saves a little bit of time over normal rocket flower refresh, but if you mess it up you lose a bit of time. Doesn't really matter though. Now he'll be going through a tunnel. This tunnel, as I've said before, helps when you don't have enough coins to go to Snow Kingdom. There are about 50 coins in this tunnel which you can get. Yeah. Getting this moon in the ground here. Actually pretty close to finishing up Seaside Kingdom. Just getting a few more moons. We're in mid-game right now, so we're halfway done with the game, moving on to late game right now, in form of Luncheon. Luncheon is a pretty long kingdom, since we've gotta get a handful of moons, a big handful. And yeah. Luncheon is also full of tricks, which Dansta has to do. And also version exclusive tricks, which we'll get onto when it happens. But first we're starting with a trick called Sword Triple, where Dansta has to manage his triple jump and time it perfectly so he can jump on this sword pile to get enough height to get onto this little platform right here, and he does it perfectly. And now he's going on his way to fight Speward. Speward we skipped in Wooded Kingdom, if you can remember, and we gotta fight him here again, sadly. there are a few route discussions of actually skipping fuels with something called Grunchian. It's pretty heavy subject. It's discussed a lot in the Odyssey community. And it's pretty complicated to explain, so I'll refrain from that. And yes, Dansta getting Spirit here pretty quickly. Mario does some weird stuff right there. Getting this moon. And yeah, as said, Dansta's run so far was really clean. He's on quite a good pace, if I guess. Let's hope it continues. Dansta's now gotta get this moon in the sub area here. And now getting the fork, which is actually not the fastest way to get up there, but it's not really a big time difference of going on the mountain. And Dansta now going for a moon in the crate right here, and then gonna cook some stew to get a moon. Getting the golden turnip right here and cooking it. And now he has to jump onto the pillar we see right here to get another moon, and there's a trick right here that can be done called, well, it's called using camera manipulation, but Dansta actually going for another trick which saves a little bit of time and not doing it, which he does perfectly, getting the fireball. Got his name again. I'm a little bad at naming his name, so excuse me if I sometimes say a wrong name or something. And actually, going to forks right here, pretty solid. Having a bit of trouble with the last moon, but nothing major. Dansta catching the fireball again, and now he's going for turnip clip. He's going to get one of those turnips and clipping through a little cage you only would be get if you're gonna hit the lever. I think that's not gonna work. Yeah, not gonna work. This is actually the version exclusive trick I was talking about. Dansta having some trouble lining it up, but that's it. Anyways, yeah. Normally, by hitting a lever, you would make this cage disappear, and that's normally how you would get this moon, but turnip clip lets you get to it by cheating a little. Dansta now capturing this fireball.
Odyssey.
Potable! Thank you. That's sad. I have trouble with names in this game. And going over this mountain with a pretty precise triple jump. Ooh, almost falling into the lava there. Thankfully not doing so. And yeah, moving along this kingdom. Now actually going for the boss, which he will be flying through as well, because this boss is pretty easy, and this triple moon right here, oh, bonking actually, I'm a prudent of a deal though, will actually give him enough moons to leave this kingdom already. Alright, so yeah, we're finished with luncheon. Now there's only a handful of kingdoms to go through. Left. And again, the game wants us to think we're going to one kingdom when we're actually going to another one. So the game wants us to think we're going to Bowser's kingdom when we're actually getting hit by Bowser again and landing in the Ruined Kingdom, which we will see pretty soon. So yeah, Ruined Kingdom is always referred to in the community as an auto-scroller because it's a straightforward boss fight. You can mess it up, and if you mess it up, you'll be set back a few minutes, so you shouldn't really mess it up, especially if you're on the last phase. The Ruined boss has 3 phases, and yeah. I said this boss fight is pretty straightforward, not a lot to talk about. And yeah, I think I can use this time to tell you there's actually a donation incentive going on right now for Nickel%, which is just getting the Boxer Shorts costume as fast as possible. And yeah, $3 are missing to get it, so yeah, all the donations are going to save the children, and we're gonna help Flint with the water crisis. So yeah, if you have some spare change and want to see the run, feel free to do it. Dansta, as mentioned, flying through the stage. There's not really much to fly through. So yeah, we'll be intentionally taking damage on this dragon's forehead, snout, forehead. Save a little bit of time to get these swords out of its nose and head as fast as possible, and getting those hearts to make up for the damage. And yeah, this is the last hit that's gonna get. Solid fight, no mistakes. Thank God. And then we'll move on to Bowser's Kingdom. First is gonna get the triple moon though. So yeah. Bowser's Kingdom is a pretty hard kingdom, not only for beginners but also for advanced speedrunners. It has probably the hardest tricks in this whole run. And yeah, it's a pretty long kingdom too, so a lot of stuff can happen. And let's hope nothing bad happens to Dansta. Alright, powering up the Odyssey. And then we'll move on to Bowser's Kingdom, or Japan as I like to call it. Alright, so there are actually 3 bosses we need to fight in this kingdom, in Bowser's Kingdom. The two Brutals and then the Mecha Brutal, which is one of the hardest bosses in the entire game, if not the hardest boss, and Dansta will be going for a really hard spread, so let's hope it doesn't mess it up. So target acquired, and yeah, it's a pretty hard spread he'll be going for. Let's hope he doesn't mess it up, but first he's gonna get through Bowser's Kingdom early in, I guess. He's gonna try to stomp the head, having a little bit of trouble, nothing major. And getting this moon right here. Hey, and it seems like the donation incentive has been met. Nice. So you'll be able to see nipple percent. I think Gaming Land is gonna perform it. It's really nice to see it get met though. Pretty happy. There's a bonking there. Bonks are about 2 seconds of time loss. So you don't really want to bonk anywhere. But it can happen, you know. Dansta now trying to get some of these shards so he can get the story moon right here. Bowser's Kingdom is pretty much the only kingdom where story moons are required to travel further. Poking this bomb into the box so you can get the last shard piece and getting this story moon right here. Dansta right after this, Dansta is gonna be lining up for the ram again. Yeah. Seems like he is, yeah. Actually getting it, I think. Looks pretty good. Yeah, he gets it. This ram is actually also pretty hard to pull off. I think that we have a bit of problems with the stream, nothing major though. I think it's gonna get fixed pretty soon. And now we move on to Harriet. Dansta does actually spread on her Harriet, it's called Furriet. First of all, Harriet first gang. A lot of people choose Copper first, but Harriet first is obviously the better choice. Yeah, he's trying to get those bombs on her head as soon as possible. And now just getting the last hit on Harriet. Yeah. Now moving on to Copper, the second boss in this kingdom, which has been practicing since the last time we've met him in Cap Kingdom. As we see, he has a lot more heads this time. But Mario is still, or Dansta rather, is still able to beat him quite fast. And now just getting story moon right here. And finishing up the Brutals. So this is not the last time we're gonna see those Brutals in Bowser's Kingdom. It's actually still the Mecha Brutal I was talking about, coming up pretty soon actually. It's a pretty hard fight as I've explained before. And first he's gonna go for this moon right around the corner right here, getting through those boxes. Now the camera isn't really his friend right here, and he has to do a risky jump, but he gets it. Messing up a little bit with the pop here, it's actually possible to poke into the wall on the right in there. Missing it, but it's not really a big deal. And now we're actually already coming up at Mecha Brutal. And yeah, so he's gonna try up to climb. He's gonna try to climb up his leg to hit Rango right here. And now positioning himself perfectly so he can spin down onto Copper right here. It's really precise, this trick. And now trying to go for Harriet. period after the stops spinning. Spinning, and now he's gonna try to jump onto Skewer's head. That's it, perfectly. Target acquired. Yeah, it's pretty good pace that Dansta is on right now, especially for such a run. And getting the triple moon from Mecha Blue right here. And now we'll actually already be moving on to the last kingdom. Last kingdom is gonna be Moon Kingdom. The gravity is all sorts of messed up right there. But we'll just have to roll with it. Actually, the gravity allows us to do something called Moon Cave Skip, where we'll be skipping a big part of a casual run, which is the Moon Cave. Normally you go into it and have a boss fight and have to traverse certain levels and stuff, but Moon Cave Skip allows us to skip all of this by just jumping onto a Sphinx head and wall jumping on precise places, so we maneuver our way on top of the hill where it is. We will see it coming up pretty soon, after we fly on the moon. Alright, arriving at Moon Kingdom, you can see this beautiful church right there, where Bowser's wedding is actually taking place, and Mario wants to ruin it, since Peach is his girl. So Mario is trying to crash it as fast as possible. Dansta getting pretty good vectors right there. Now trying to get those rocket flowers we see there to jump across this gap right here. There you see him skipping Moon Cave to go onto the Sphinx's head and wall jumping, missing it, not getting it first try. But this seems pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good from Dansta right there. Getting second try, Moon Cave Skip. Getting it second try is not too big of a deal. And now he's crashing Bowser's wedding. And we will see another fight with Bowser right here. Bowser has beefed up a little since we've last seen him. Doing a spin throw right there to actually perfectly get the cap back that he gets to Bowser. Bowser right now spits fire during his between his attacks, so the fight got a little longer, and now also shields on every attack. Dansta lining up perfectly with the head right there again. Up. Oh, Dansta actually forgetting that there was another attack. Really misfortunate. Now has to go through the limit. Bowser and it right there, throwing the balls at him. Very misfortunate from Dansta there. But it's been a pretty solid run except for that. It's looking to be low to mid 180 place right now. So that's a really good time for him. He is a 101 right here. Now hopefully it doesn't forget that there's another attack after this here. It doesn't, of course. And now we're going on to the last section of the game, the escape sequence. Where we actually get to play as Bowser. We see him rolling up to Bowser here and capturing him. And there are a lot of ways to hide here, but it's pretty hard it's pretty easy to mess up for even advanced players right here, because 2B skip is coming up. We will see it right here. It's not really a skip, it's more of a shortcut we take, which saves a little bit of time, but yeah, you can only do it like 25% of the time, so I don't know why he even goes for it. Really need it. Obviously not 25% chance. It's pretty solid. Gets it first try. XT skip right there. Not bad. And we'll be moving on to the last sequence. The very last sequence. He's gonna try to get this first pillar on the right here with perfectly placed fireballs. And it seems like he got it. No, he didn't. And we have to get the pillar. Did he get it? I'm not sure. Yeah, he did it. So he's gonna get the pillar now, and then he'll move on and split his timer. And the run is gonna end pretty soon right here. Finishing with a low 102, not bad. It's actually a pretty good time. And that's it. Alright. That's a pretty solid run by Dansta there. Especially for a short run like this. It's a really good time. It's GG's. A 114. A 102.14. Sorry. Not a 114.
My timer says 102.17.
102.17?
Yeah.
Still good.